Today I am going to tell you a story of a Baba who went on to become a Lala, that is a businessman. The story of Ramdev. He taught India how to breathe. He said a country could only be healthy if its people are healthy. He made yoga a household ritual from slums to skyscrapers. Everyone knew the name Baba Ramdev. But somewhere along the way, the saint became a salesman. The man who once healed minds began minting millions. This is the story of how Baba Ramdev became Lala Ramdev, a journey from yoga to yojana, from pranayam to profit. In the early 2000s, India woke up to a new kind of morning. Ramdev on Astha TV, bare chested, fiery eyed, with the confidence of a preacher and the charisma of a showman. He spoke of inner peace, natural healing, and the power of breath. He told us the body is a temple of the soul, keep it pure, keep it strong. Millions tuned in before sunrise. From Delhi to Dibrugarh, yoga mats rolled out. For a brief time, India truly breathed together. He represented a return to the roots, an indigenous answer to Western medicine, consumerism, and stress. And people loved it. They believed in him. What no one realized then was behind this movement was a slow, careful creation of a brand. By 2010, Baba Ramdev was more than a yoga teacher. He was a movement. Millions followed him. Every morning, broadcast turned into mass mobilization. And that's when the RSS took notice. For the Sangh Parivar, Ramdev was a perfect weapon, a saffron clad nationalist with apolitical credibility. He could reach millions without sounding like a politician. So by 2011, when Anna Hazare's anti-corruption movement took Delhi by storm, Ramdev joined hands. But there was a problem. Anna's movement wanted transparency and reform, not religion in politics. On the other hand, Ramdev's rhetoric soon began echoing BJP's talking points: black money abroad, Hindu nationalism, strong leadership. In truth, Ramdev wasn't a part of Anna's moral crusade, he was a part of RSS's political experiment to test whether a spiritual leader could become a political magnet. Then came that infamous night in June 2011, Ramlila Maidan, Delhi. Ramdev had called a massive protest against black money, promising to fast until death. But when the government ordered a midnight eviction, the scene turned cinematic. As tear gas filled the air, the revolutionary saint tried to escape, dressed as a woman in a salwar kameez and dupatta. The images flooded national TV. Next morning, he claimed heroism, that a kind woman gave him her clothes to escape death. But the truth, no one ever saw that mysterious lady. Once she gave her clothes to Ramdev, where and how did she vanish? To this day, no name, no photograph, no statement. Was it really spontaneous act of devotion, or was it a carefully scripted episode, a PR stunt to paint him as a victim of tyranny? Most journalists who covered that night now agree it was staged, managed by the RSS and the BJP to generate sympathy before the 2014 elections. After the Ram Leela drama, Baba's political stock skyrocketed. He had millions of loyal followers, sympathy from the right wing, and direct blessings from the RSS. That's when Patanjali Ayurveda began expanding like wildfire. From soaps to noodles, oil to toothpaste, every product carried one message: Swadeshi, nationalism, and faith. He preached, reject MNCs, embrace Patanjali. And in Modi's Make in India era, the timing was perfect. Behind this yoga and the slogan, there was one man who was standing and who was handling everything: Acharya Balakrishna. Balakrishna, Ramdev's long-time companion, was the real CEO behind the curtain. While Ramdev became the face, Balakrishna became the money manager, the gatekeeper of Patanjali's empire. But his background is far from saintly. Born in Nepal, Balakrishna wasn't even an Indian citizen until 2011. Yet he ran a massive Indian business. He was arrested by the CBI in 2011 for holding a fake passport. Later, a CBI inquiry also looked into money laundering and FCRA violations involving Patanjali's trusts. Though many cases quietly vanished, the stench of corruption lingered. And ironically, while Baba preached purity and renunciation, Balkrishna built a corporate empire worth tens of thousands of crores. Together, they cracked the formula: spirituality as branding, nationalism as marketing, and politics as insurance. The pandemic of 2020 brought fear, chaos, and opportunity. Baba Ramdev stepped into that vacuum with Coronil, claiming it was the world's first Ayurvedic cure for COVID 19. At a grand press conference, flanked by saffron banners, he declared, "We have cured 280 patients in trials. This is India's answer to Corona." Within hours, it began to unravel. The health ministry said they had never approved the drug. ICMR denied any link. WHO clarified, "We have not reviewed or endorsed Coronil." The Indian Medical Association called it criminal misrepresentation. Even Kerala and Delhi High Courts issued notices over false advertising. But Baba's reaction was not remorse, it was rage. He accused doctors of jealousy. He claimed a global pharma conspiracy against him. He even called modern medicine a failure. As lakhs of Indians suffered and hospitals overflowed, Baba Ramdev went on national TV mocking doctors. If allopathy worked, why are people dying? That one sentence exposed everything: his arrogance, his ignorance, and his absolute immunity. Over the years, resistance against him only grew. Brinda Karat exposed labor exploitation at Patanjali's units as far back in 2006. Hamdard and Dabur condemned Patanjali for selling untested and harmful concoctions under the garb of Ayurveda. Indian Medical Association accused him of eroding public faith in medicine. Delhi Commissioner for Women called out his misogynistic remarks linking women's clothing to rape culture. Civil society groups demanded his products face the same scrutiny as any pharmaceutical company. The Delhi and Kerala High Courts repeatedly pulled him up for misleading ads. And finally, the Supreme Court in 2024 rebuked both Ramdev and Balkrishna for lying about COVID cures and ordered public apologies. But apologies never came. Instead, Baba went on a media tour mocking the courts and medical experts. He called them slaves of Western science. He laughed off the fines. And every time, the political machinery protected him. By 2014, Ramdev's brand was unstoppable. Patanjali Ayurveda had become India's fastest growing FMCG company. Then came the big leap, Ruchi Soya, once a bankrupt edible oil giant. With blessings from the government and loans from public banks, Ramdev's Patanjali took over Ruchi Soya. Soon after, it was renamed Patanjali Foods Limited. His empire now stretched across Ayurvedic medicines, edible oils and food, cosmetics, garments, even education institutes. A precise revenue graph for Patanjali Group is challenging to create because the group consists of multiple entities, including Patanjali Ayurveda, a privately held company, and then the publicly listed Patanjali Foods, formerly Ruchi Soya. Some revenue figures reported in the media are for Patanjali Ayurveda, while others represent the combined group turnover. However, a general trend can be depicted using available data points. The revenue in 2014 was around 2000 crores and it is expected to be around 35,000 crores in financial year 2025. The Uttarakhand government gave him free or subsidized land near Haridwar. Regulatory bodies looked away and the BJP showcased him as the ideal Swadeshi entrepreneur. In reality, the saint who once said money is Maya had become a billionaire capitalist cloaked in saffron. By 2013-14, Ramdev's friendship with Modi was open. He campaigned indirectly, mobilizing crowds through his yoga network. Vote for a strong leader, he said, who will bring back black money. Every yoga camp became a rally, every product label became a propaganda. And after 2014, he got his reward: tax breaks, media silence, and immunity from scrutiny. But whenever the government was cornered, Baba reappeared on television to defend, to distract, to divert. From a healer, he became a mouthpiece, from a guru to a mascot, from a saint to a salesman. There is no denying Baba Ramdev changed how India saw yoga. He made it mainstream, affordable, and accessible. For that, he deserves credit. But what he did afterwards destroyed that legacy. He turned yoga into business, Ayurveda into propaganda, and faith into profit. He blurred the line between science and superstition, and when challenged, he mocked truth itself. Ramdev's story is not just about greed, it's about the dangerous mix of religion, business, and politics. A cautionary tale of what happens when belief becomes a brand and power becomes protection. Baba once said, through yoga, India will rise. But perhaps he meant, through marketing, I will rise. This was the truth versus the myth. Next week, sometime, I'm going to talk about the politics of purity and profit, how religion is becoming a business model in New India. Thank you for watching. I am Ajay Prakash.